Hello. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to APM Python sessions. As part of the today's session, I would like to explain you how exactly we can create a simple program using APM Python, and that particular program will be executing on both Android and as well as an iPhone. Both the things we will try to cover as part of the today's session. If you remember, guys, as part of the previous session, we have a configured APM in our machine. Okay, we have a configured APM in our machine. As and when the APM got installed successfully, you can use a terminal, and by using a APM hit enter button, automatically your server is being started. So I have installed this particular APM. Along with this particular APM, I have installed two drivers. One is for UI automated 2 driver, which is used for an Android automation, and another is an XCUI test driver, which is used for an iOS automation. These are the things that were already completed. Now, what I'm gonna do right now means go to the Python, Pycharm editor, in which I'm creating a new project, and I'm naming this particular project as Python APM. Okay, Python APM, and create it. So, okay, I'm just creating a new project. And as and when you have created a new project, it's mandatory for us to add all the APM related libraries to this particular project. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm using a Mac machine for now, guys. So I'm just clicking on a PyCharm here. Okay, PyCharm here, and then I'm going to settings. So the simple option that I'm choosing here is this PyCharm, and from where somewhere from that particular options I'm going to this particular settings, guys. Okay, so let us click on a pie charm, and I'm just clicking on the settings right now. In this particular settings, we need to choose the project that we have created. The project that I have created right now is, Python APM, right? So let me expand this particular project, and within the project, you have a Python interpreter. Okay, within the project, you have a Python interpreter. Choose it. So from here, there is a plus option using which you can add the various sets of dependencies or libraries to this particular project. So here, APM Python client. So this is the first option. As and when I have chosen the first option, it's prompting me that the version is a 4.5.0. This is going to be the latest version, and it's giving me an option to install it. So the next option that I'm doing is install the package. Okay, I just clicked on this install package button, and package APM Python client installed successfully. Click on a close button and hit this particular OK button too. So which means we can say that for this particular project, whatever we are using, okay, that we have created, which is a Python APM, as part of the external libraries, this APM Python would be added. So let us cross sequence. Let me expand this one. See here, Python APM and all these particular libraries are being added here. Okay, and all these libraries are got added. That's perfectly all right. See here, APM Python and everything, all this information got added here. Perfect. Now, the next point here is let us create a simple directory. Okay, I'm just naming it as a basics, and in which I'm creating a new Python file. This Python file, Android app launch. Okay, this Android app launch, I'm just creating a new file. And now, once after we created a new project and as well as a new file, I'm just starting with an import right now, which is this import of this particular APM is from this particular WebDriver. Okay, from APM, import this particular WebDriver. Perfect. So, guys, one thing that you need to know is whether you want to interact with an Android device or whether you want to interact with an iOS device, it's mandatory for us to pass on the device specific information. We need to pass on the device specific information. That info we are passing as part of these desired capabilities. And here I'm defining a dictionary in order to pass on this particular information. Okay, perfectly all right. So, what are all the set of information that you will be passing? So, the various sets of desired capabilities that we will be passing are the device name, the platform name, okay, the app, the automation name. Okay, automation name. These four are a more than enough. Platform name, platform version. Even one more capability that I can add is a platform version. If you pass on these five set of capabilities as an options here in the dictionary, automatically with this information, your APM will try to establish a connection with that device. So here, the first thing that I am passing right now is the device name. Okay, the device name. So what is my device name? See, basically I have only one Android phone that it is connected, hence I am giving my device name as an Android. Okay, and the next one is the platform name. Even I just want to target it for an Android, hence I am defining it as an Android itself. And the next one is platform version. So what is the operating system? So version basically. So my iOS, sorry, this one I am targeting on an Android. So my Android operating system version is a 30. And then after that, I need to pass on the app details on which app I want to perform this particular operation. And the next and a most important capability that you will be passing is an automation name. So, automation name in general, whenever you are working on an Android, you need to pass on the automation name as a UI automator too. See here in the terminal itself, it's showing. Whenever you are working on an iOS, you need to pass on the automation name as an XUI test. Copy the automation name from there and put it here. Okay, copy the automation name and put it here. So I have defined these capabilities, the five set of desired capabilities that are specific to my Android right now. So as part of this particular APM 2.x versions, if you want to establish a session with an Android, you need to create an instance or you need to pass on the various sets of UI automator 2 options. The same way, if you want to pass an instance or establish a connection with an iPhone, you need to pass on the various sets of options which are XCUI test options. As of now, my requirement is to establish a connection with an Android device, hence I need to pass on the UI automator 2 options. So here I'm defining, okay, capabilities, okay, and the options. Okay, the capabilities options are, so here UI automator 2 options, as and when I have selected it, automatically the UI automator 2 options got imported, for which what you need to load, you need to load the above desired capabilities into these UI automator 2 options. Okay, for these UI automator 2 options, whatever the capabilities that you have defined from the line number 4 to 12, all those capabilities you need to pass on. As of now, this capabilities option does has the complete information in order to establish a connection, right? So I'm using a WebDriver dot remote, for which you need to pass on two information. The first one is the APM server URL and the second one is this particular options. Okay, so here what I'm doing right now, so if you see this particular terminal, okay, if you see this particular terminal, see it's saying that you can provide the following URL and the client node to establish a connection with the server, which is 127.0.4723. So this is the URL in which the APM server got started, and from where I'm just passing on this capabilities right now. Okay, the APM server URL followed by the desired capabilities options, which are the UI automated 2 options I'm passing here. And right now, with this particular line, what it's gonna do is it's gonna establish a connection with this device and it will install this app. So I haven't passed on the app information. I will be passing that particular one too. And later, I'm using a driver dot quit a command in order to terminate that instance too. Okay, in order to terminate that particular instance, I'm using a driver dot quit command basically. Okay, I'm using a driver dot quit command in order to terminate that particular browser instance, guys, or the app instance, whichever the app it got established a connection. Now here I'm using a time dot sleep for 5 seconds. Okay, after establishing a session and before terminating it, wait for 5 seconds. So guys, if you observe, I started with only one import and this UI automated two options, and this time were automatically imported by my program itself. Perfect. Now, the only thing that I need to pass on here is the app details. So, what is the app that you want to deal with it? So, consider that this is the app that I want to deal with it. E-commerce store demo app. I'm getting the info for this particular app. Okay, I'm getting the info for this particular app. And let's go back to the program slash the APK file. You need to pass on this APK file. See guys, I have passed on my app. It's in my downloads folder, e-commerce store APK file. That's perfectly all right. Okay, that's perfectly all right. Let me close these instances. As of now, my program is pretty much clear. So, in order to execute this program, two things we need to make sure. Okay, two things we need to make sure. Check whether server is started or not. Okay, check whether your server is started or not. So what server? Appium server. We have already started our Appium server. If you see the command prompt, the terminal on a Mac, it does shows this information with which we can confirm that the server is started. Make sure the device is connected to this machine. See, basically, I'm trying to execute this program on a real device. So I need to make sure whether this device is connected to this machine or not. So what I'm doing right now is I connected my Android mobile phone using a USB cable to this particular machine. That's the first thing. And I have enabled USB debugging mode on that particular mobile. And later, I'm using ADB space devices command in the terminal. If that device is connected properly, then it will display this information, which is this device is connected successfully. Okay, this device is connected successfully. Perfect. And then once we are done up to this particular point, so I don't have a Vysor installed as of now in this particular laptop. So Vysor is a software that it is used to mirror my Android phone here or an iPhone as well. For the time being, I'm just executing the program and will analyze the error message that it is showing up in this particular console. Okay, we'll analyze that error message that it is showing up in this particular console. So where exactly it's showing up this error message? So it's showing this error message in line number. Okay, it's showing this error message in line number 17. So what exactly it's saying? You are directly passing on this particular capabilities. So, but it's asking us to pass it as an options. So here, the simple thing that I need to do is, yeah, so here options is equal to. So this is a set of options that I am defining, right? So options is equal to is the keyword that I need to define. Perfect. Let me try to run this program again and see. So line number 232, check in the response. The requested could not be found. The HTTP method is not supported by the map resource. Okay, the HTTP method is not supported by the map resource. Where is the error that it is pointing? Again, it's pointing to line number this one itself. Okay, so line number 17 in module WebDriver dot remote, and I'm using 127.0.0.1 4723, and the options that I'm using is the capability options, and the capability options are UI automator 2 dot load capabilities of this desired capabilities. I think it's pretty much good. Let me try to run this program once again and see what's causing this particular issue. Okay, so let me try to run this one. Okay, so See, basically, it's trying to install the app on my mobile. It's trying to install the app on my mobile, basically. Okay, it did perform that particular operation. An unknown server side exception, virginal error, adb.exe. Let us see this particular error. Okay, the virginal error is command library sdk platform tools adb port. Okay, failure, installation not allowed. Okay, so it's saying that this app isn't installed on your mobile. Okay, let me rerun the program once again and see. So that might be because of the version of this particular app. Okay, the version of this particular app may not be compatible. Okay, I'm getting some warning messages on my, okay, I'm getting a warning messages on my mobile. Okay, so Vysor for Mac. Let me show you that. So I'm just going to this Vysor downloads and I'm just downloading this Vysor for the time being, guys, to show you how exactly it's performing the action on my mobile. So it's establishing a session, but there is some issue on that particular, okay, there is some issue here. That's the reason it's not allowing to install the app on that particular mobile. That's fine. The simplest thing that we can do is we can pick the another app. But for the time being, what I'm gonna do right now is I just wanna share my mobile instance here and to show you what exactly the error that I'm getting on my mobile so that you will get a clear understanding what exactly the issue is and how can we fix that particular issue too. Okay, so be with me for a minute until this Vysor got installed, and then we can continue this one. See, ideally, guys, as of now, we were working on the different sets of applications that we are downloading from Google. Even I'm downloading some set of applications from the Google, because of which they are not safe on your Android, which will block us. The Android will block us not to install that particular app on that particular device. That's the major issue. Okay, but anyways, and the another issue that we will encounter is the version compatibility. The app, whatever you have downloaded, may not be compatible with your mobile operating system version. Even that's gonna be the another issue that you will be encountering. So in such cases, right, anyways, we are working on a public applications itself. Download some other application and proceed further. But for us, in order to understand this issue in a better way, I'm just downloading this Vysor to show you how exactly the issue is and what exactly the solution is. It's taking us 6 more minutes to download this Vysor. For the time being, I'm pausing this particular video, guys, and then we'll resume the video once after this Vysor got installed. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. So the DMG file got downloaded right now. Let's double tap on that particular DMG file. And ideally on Windows it will directly install, but for Mac it's asking us to move to the applications folder. Okay, replace. Okay, I just replaced this Vysor. And now I'm going to this application folder and I was just launching this Vysor. Okay, so why this Vysor is required means for mirroring of the mobile instance itself. In general, for suppose whenever you are working on your projects, if at all you are doing any kind of a presentations to share your screen, in such a cases itself you will be using this Vysor. In other situations, you don't need to use this particular Vysor at all. So as of now, I have connected my mobile and it's asking me to establish a connection. Just click on a view device. So automatically the device is being populated. So this is the mobile, the mobile instance. From an Android, right, I can interact from here. So, okay, this is the chunk. Okay, the Vysor app got installed for me. Now, what I'm doing right now is let's go to the Pycharm and let me rerun the program. So, guys, in the previous instance, I haven't done anything. The only thing I did is I downloaded the Vysor and I have installed the Vysor to my machine. That's it. As and when I just executed my program, Appium settings got installed on my mobile at the very first time. And then this is the screen. So unsafe app blocked. Because of this particular issue, your script is getting failed. Now what I'm doing is install anyway. I'm just choosing an option as an install anyway. As and when I have to choose this option as an install anyway, automatically this app will be installed and it will not show up any error message in your program. So it will launch the app and then it will terminate that particular app. So the app is not working properly. Even still, we haven't done any kind of an assertions on a mobile app. So if you see, basically, we just established a connection with that particular mobile app. We waited for 5 seconds and then we did a termination of that. That's it. These are the things that we have a past, and this is the way how exactly we can handle the Android application. Okay, this is the way how exactly we can handle the Android application. Then, Surendra, how to deal with an iOS? As simple as it is. So, right click on this program, copy it, and paste this program. So, for my easy and readability and reusability, I was just creating a new program, iOS app launch. So here, in which the device name I'm targeting with an iPhone. The platform name is an iOS. I don't know about the platform version. I don't know anything about the app that we have for the iOS, but the automation I know is a XCUI test. See in the terminal, okay, as in when you have started your APM server, as in when you have started your APM server. For iOS, you need to use an automation name as an XCUI test. That's what I have used, an XCUI test. And for iOS, the additional capability that we need to pass is UDID of that particular device. Whichever the device that you want to target for, we just need to pass on the UDID for that particular device. Okay. So as of now, in order to get the UDID of that particular device and in order to get the application information, I'm launching some existing application in a UI catalog. Okay, I'm just launching the UI catalog application. And from here, inside the products, this is the .app file. Copy the path of this particular .app file and put it in your Pycharm app. So this is the app that you want to specify. And how you will be getting the UDID in the Xcode, basically in the Xcode, okay, there is an option for us where you can find the complete devices information. Okay, where you can find the complete devices information. If you click on this simulator, that simulator will be launched. Okay, if you click on that simulator, the simulator will be launched. So somewhere from here, okay, devices and simulators. See here in the Windows, you have a devices and a simulators. Choose this particular option. And I'm selecting the simulators. Which device you want to execute? I want to run it on a iPhone 16 Pro Max, and this is the identifier for that. So copy this ID. Okay, copy this particular ID. Okay, so 1 second. Copy this ID, which we can treat it as a UDID of that particular device that you need to specify in a program. And for the Android, you are passing UI automated two options. For iOS, you need to pass on XCUI test options. XCUI test options. I just updated it to XCUI test options. That's it, guys. In the program, I have changed these capabilities. Okay, I have changed these capabilities. Additionally, I changed this to XCUI test options. Additionally, I need to pass on this particular platform version also. Right. So let us try to get the platform version for that particular device, which is iPhone 16 Pro Max, iOS 18.1. This is the version. Go to your PyCharm and update the version as 18.1. Okay, 18.1. Save this and let me try to run this particular program and see how this is going to work. As of now, we are using a simulator itself for the iPhone, hence we don't need any Vysor. Automatically it launched the iPhone 16 Pro Max here, iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is of an 18.1 version, OS version, and it's trying to launch this particular the device first. And once the device got launched, then it will install that particular app. UI Kit Catalog app is the app that I have specified. It will install install the app on that particular device, and the program will launch the app, and after a few seconds it will terminate that particular, okay, it will terminate that particular app as well. It will just quit that particular app. That's it. It won't do anything else. So the simulator is launched. Now it needs to perform the operation with that particular device. So here, say it's trying to install the WebDriver agent. Okay, ideally, as in when your program got a triggered on an Android, it will be installing the Appium settings. And when you are triggering your iOS program, it will be installing the WebDriver agent on it, and then it will proceed further. See, the WebDriver agent app got installed, and then the next option here is the UI KitKat app log. It will launch it. It will launch, it will wait for 5 seconds, and it will close the app. It will just quit that particular instance. So this is the way how exactly you can create a simple program that works for Android and as well as an iOS, which we can consider that, once we were able to execute it, we can confirm that the execution or the configuration in my machine was successful. Okay, so this is the way how exactly we can deal it. This is the first program. In the next session, we will see how we can handle the various sets of UI elements and all those things that we will continue in the next session. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.